So my daughter, who's 10, soon to be 11, recently was going through some toys in her toy room, purging some of the stuff she doesn't play with very much anymore. And I was really proud of her for getting rid of stuff, because that's a good skill to have. But every time we do this, every time we go through a cleaning of that room, I come across these, and I always ask her, is it time? Can we get rid of these? And she's always saying no. She never wants to get rid of them, even though I kind of do. And these are some of the first bits of terrain that I ever made. Definitely the first buildings. They actually predate the channel. And I don't know, seeing them made me a little nostalgic. And I thought maybe I'd share them with you guys, because they've actually never been seen, I don't think. I don't know. I didn't make them on the channel. Maybe they appeared at some point. But if we're going to talk about these early days of the channel, pieces of terrain, I got to do one thing. Hello, old friend. It's been a while. Let's take a look at this. So this was supposed to be a longhouse, and this got used in one of my early campaigns. It's basically a shoebox with a lid. The chimney has long ago broken off. Some of the cladding has broken off. It's basically just cardboard, popsicle sticks, some drywall compound mixed with glue for stucco texture, and a roof that is supposed to be a thatch roof, but is just hot glue. It opens, and inside there is a foam stone floor and a little fireplace. And yeah, we played some games in this back in the day. It's very charming in a way. It's so simple, it looks like it belongs in my kid's room because it looks like something a little kid made. And I don't think that's a bad thing. At the time in my life when I started on this crafting journey, I did so with a little bit of a childlike sense of wonderment. So in a way, it kind of was crafted by a kid, grown-up kid. And I think that's kind of special. I very quickly stopped making buildings that were full buildings and moved on to these. And I don't remember for sure, but I would bet that these were directly inspired by DM Scotty from DM's Craft. I'm sure at one point he did these building faces. I must have gotten the idea from him. The idea with these is that they can just line a table, make a street or a road, and don't take up a lot of space. But what was really cool about these at the time was they taught me all sorts of techniques. We have a log building with stone, we have a castle wall, we have Tudor, we have two-story. There's all these things that I experimented with for the first time. And actually, all things considered, they're not that bad. Hey, I just want to take a second to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. They are my go-to all-in-one website creation and hosting tool. I run 3 websites, and I run every single one of them using Squarespace. Since making my first one, it's become my go-to when I need something new. I can't think of a faster way to make a site and get it up and running and host it on the internet. They've got a bunch of great tools, tons of templates to get you started, to get the basis for your design, AI tools to help you with some of the wording on it, and everything is super easily customizable. Whether you know how to do that sort of stuff or not, it's all drag and drop, and everything you customize for the desktop website automatically gets formatted for mobile use, which is great. You can set up a web store, you can sell courses, really great for e-commerce in general. They also offer their own easy payment system, which is awesome. And if you need a website and you're considering your options, go check them out. You can start an account for free. And once you know that you like the system and you're comfortable with it and you want to proceed, you can just use the link and the code in my description, and you can get 10% off the purchase of your first website or domain. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Go make a website. This one was kind of breaking. Actually, they're all kind of breaking a bit, but they've held up pretty well being thrown around in a kid's toy room. In a way, looking at these, it kind of makes me sad. Not like a bad sad, a good sad. I don't know if that makes sense. Just nostalgia. This was a very interesting time in my life. I was going through massive changes when I started this hobby. I had just become a father, had a newborn baby, had put my music life on hiatus, and I was just quitting smoking. And this hobby was a way for me to deal with all of those things. This wall's completely broken off here, but it kind of looks cool. Having a hobby that was quiet was really important for, life with a newborn baby. Also having a hobby that I could pick up and put down at a moment's notice was really good. When I was doing music production, it's loud, not great for a baby. And also it's the kind of thing that when you're in it, you don't want to stop. And I couldn't really be in a position where I, couldn't be disturbed. But just piddling around with cardboard and glue and paint and popsicle sticks, it was the kind of thing that when there was a baby crying, I could just put down, walk away, not be stressed out, and just come back to it when the time was right. But what was really important was using this hobby to occupy my mind and my hand while I was quitting smoking. I had smoked cigarettes probably for 10 years at that point, pack a day. But with a newborn baby, I wanted to do the right thing. And I wanted to quit. And I did. I quit cold turkey. But the hardest thing for me was the habit. I could deal with a lot of the stuff, but it was the ritual of using cigarettes as a punctuation point in my day. And I associated everything in my life with that habit. So when trying to quit, no matter what I would do, I would be reminded of it, which made it a lot harder. But this was a hobby that had no connection to that habit. So it was a great way for me to just focus and for periods of time forget that I was a smoker. And those periods over time would get longer and longer and longer. And thankfully, when I quit 10 years ago cold turkey, I haven't had a cigarette since. And I think these were a big part of it, this hobby. It's weird though, every time I see them in a room, I'm just come on, let's throw them out. They're falling apart. They're not very well made, but she loves them. And I appreciate that. And, it is nice to be able to reflect on them and take a little introspective trip down memory lane. But I make so much stuff, I can't keep it all. And I have so many collections, I have to be careful not to just be a hoarder. So I don't get this opportunity often because I do like to purge and I don't hold on to things. But maybe there's a lesson here that, sometimes you should hold on to some things. And I guess the other lesson is just, if you're going through life changes or you're trying to make life changes, sometimes a new little innocent hobby is exactly what you need. Crazy.